Hello, welcome to a stream of progress. Progress on the Milton Valley Railroad, of course. So, let's switch over and get started. Here we are. That should have worked theoretically. Or rather, in theory. Yes, there we are. Yes, so you can see we started building this bit. Well, we started building some bits. One, we redid this bit so that the bridge is facing that way instead of this way. And we started working, well, basically building this. Making one side of the valley leading up here. Hello, Kangafango. Hello, VGR. Welcome. Yes, of course it's starting. Going up here, and this is where this branch will terminate. We'll have, I'll probably have it continue on for a little bit, going into a portal somewhere behind a curve or something as well, so I can spawn AI traffic along here. But this is where the branch will end. We will have timber pickup, like a large-scale timber pickup, which will then, of course, be shipped downhill, down the mountain. All the way down to the city, where I won't actually zoom. Well, actually, I will zoom all the way in. Might as well show you where it will be shipped to this sawmill or lumber mill, which will load in at some point. There we go. Yes, so it will be shipped here, and I may have another one somewhere down here as well, like another, maybe another one over here where this branch could go, because the amount of logs that I want to be transporting down here might be a bit much for that one mill, but who knows. Might also make for some interesting switching scenarios. Now you're thinking with portals. Railroad portals. We've got warehouses full of the things. Absolutely useless. I'm happy to get rid of them. GLaDOS 2022. Yes, totally not companion. Cubes. Just finished tending to my grandma. Now then, what are we building this evening? We are going to be we're gonna revisit this area, fix a few bits, and then the main thing we're going to be building is, well, finishing the left-hand side of this valley, so pretty much from here over to here. So this bit, and then we're going to do the other side of the valley, which should be good, because then we can get to placing scenery, not before too long, but it will probably be next stream, or maybe the stream after that, who knows. So the few bits that I want to change over here is, there was a comment left mentioning about abutments, which I have actually thought of myself. There should be some sort of abutments here, and maybe also with this bridge. But the thing is, the actual spline itself has these pillars down underneath, but of course they're buried in the ground. So maybe if we had some sort of concrete block or something there, but I don't know if that would help, or if that would make it look better. Another thing was to place more bushes and or rocks on the top here. Ideally I would smoothen this out, but I can't really, because it's so narrow, the grid, or the Trainz grid, is too big for me to smooth it out with the terrain tools. But I will have a look with bushes and things like that. The battle apparatus event will deliver a weighted companion cube in 3 to 1 cube drops. Alright, that's the intro, I see. So, let's have a look for the abutments. Where did I last use some? I thought I used... Did I use? Yes, I used some up here. Which I might be able to reuse these assets effectively. I might need to stack these a bit. Okay, so this is rotated 9.2. Also, shadows are still on because there isn't that much scenery back here, so shouldn't be that laggy as we get to the terraforming bit. Probably something like that. And if I move this down like that, and then if I place 2 more of these on the other side, then maybe a sort of a stepped thing might not look bad. I don't know. Yeah, if I have it stepped, that actually looks better, I think. And is that now? Yeah, that is floating. Or although is it? Is it? Yes. Good. Would be good if they added 2.5 meter grid to TRS 2022. Yes, but that would just cause so much more lag. Oh, it's... hold on. Oh, it's 9.2. That explains a lot. Okay, how far is that? That's pretty much at the inside of that, so I need to move this out a little bit more. There, okay. One more. Just like with pyramids. Step look. Not necessarily my opinion. Ah. Then I'll move this down a bit like that. So, although that's now... hold on, if I need to rotate these slightly differently so that it isn't Z-fighting. Hold on. Although that just looks strange now on the side. Maybe if I move it inwards instead? Ah, that looks better. Here's an idea. No, that's just a statement. Just a normal statement. How about you cover up the abutments with bushes? Maybe. Hold on. 9.2 minus, well, plus 180, 189.2, of course. I didn't really have to use that for the calculator for that. But I only realized that after. Okay, so this comes in at just that angle like that. So that should be, actually it needs to be up high enough so that the other side is covered by it still. Like that. Which is higher up than the other side, but that's okay. Okay, then I need to add 2 of those directly underneath to fill in that little gap. One more of that, and then 2 more to fill in that gap. And here, this just comes in after a little bit of that. Which means that needs to come in at about there. That if I want to have it be symmetrical from the point where it comes in at. Yeah, I can, if I moved it up so that the step has the same size, then I will have to fill in a lot more, which I don't want. Well, I just had the idea of a new concept. Ooh. Would you like to elaborate? And then I need like 2 more down here. Inspired by that big chassis system, steam turbine, whatever. Oh, interesting. There are a few steam turbine locomotives. Oh, you mean the chassis train, as in the icy... Oh, right, yeah, the one with the yellow one, yes. Ah, of course. Yes, 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 I know it, I know it. I need one more. I don't like how unsymmetrical this is. But I can't really have it more symmetrical. Unless I try to... Unless maybe something like that. Maybe they did actually build it into the rock a little there. Maybe the bedrock here is just sturdy enough. Maybe just to reinforce it down there. Except Romanian gas turbine. It'll be more fitting loco for Electra and SME. By the way, am I the only one hearing chattering in your mic? What do you mean? There's nothing there. Hold on. I don't know what you're hearing. Oh, hold on. It might be... Ah, yes. It's probably the stream from that side, because the headphones on this side were laying... That must be it. I guess it was laying kind of close to the mic. Maybe it... I don't know. Usually I do mute the stream, but I did forget. Anyway, maybe I can modify the terrain here slightly, just to make it a little bit smoother, so that I can more accurately replicate the other side. But I don't really want to spend this much time on this area. I really want to get to more of the actual building on the other side. Already half an hour in. I suppose maybe like that. Maybe like that. Then if I lowered this one, yeah, I would still have to lower this a couple meters. That does look better. Maybe if I lower this a little bit as well. Just so it looks more symmetrical. Yeah, that no share is today. You started at 21:06, not 8. 21 minutes. Well, yeah, I see. But it's still half an hour of the time allotted. Or maybe if I just increase the height of this on this side, so that it's... Well, what height is this at? 216.38. So 21... Let's set the height here to 216. Then that to there. And then I can, actually, I can move these back a little bit more. Then that might look a little bit more like the other side. Move it down to about there. Now, does that look similar? Maybe if the bottom ones came out a little bit more here on this side. Actually, I need to move the other one a little first. Maybe there. Oh, in OBS the upload speed just suddenly dropped dramatically, but it's back now because this is at 210. Oh, that's also 210. Well, actually, is that 210.3? This one's 210.9, so this needs to go lower. About there. Hold on, Rebecca, my grandma needs something. Okay, sure, of course. About there. Okay, I think that looks pretty symmetrical. Although, what's the height here? I need to lower this a little bit. Just to about there. Okay. Now that looks just about symmetrical. Now let's see if I can add some old ones over on this side. Maybe just one will suffice on each side. Okay, so this is lowered to height of 223.2. One moment. Rotation. Hold on, what was that? 285. 105. Okay. Oh, you're back. Welcome back. And the height Yeah, 223. Point. Point what? Hold on. 0.21. And that's close enough. And because this is so... Actually, does that? Yeah, that... hold on. okay, it does need one more bit. Though that does not line up. Hold on, I need to change that so it does actually line up. Let's be at 294. Though, maybe 292. That seems like it lines up. That's at 113. 293.1. Okay. Although this now does need to be moved over a bit. Like so. And then I will move it into the ground a little bit more. So that it fits, which is about, well, there. Ooh, recent surgery. That doesn't sound very pleasant. 1.21 gigawatts or gigawatts, depending on how you want to pronounce it. So I gotta help her out. Yeah, of course. Oh, I see. Hope she recovers soon. 3 months at best. Her body needs to get used to the new ball joint prosthetic. Okay, now place a couple of bushes around there. Then I'll place a few more bushes on the thing on the side, on the ridge. That's a bit too tall. I think something like this would be better. Well, actually, maybe on top. Hold on. Maybe something like that. Yeah, that's what I want. And one over here as well. Maybe 2. I don't like how that edge is poking through. Hold on. Something like this. Yeah, that's better. Although now I do also need a little bit over here, just so that it doesn't stand out as much. Yeah, we've already got bushes over there. Okay, so the abutments are done for now. Although over here where it's grassy, I suppose placing some bushes to hide some of the seams might not be a bad idea. Although the angle is too different. Can't really hide that properly, because otherwise it would be floating. Although something like that can work. Maybe rotate it a bit. Like that. Maybe one over here as well. A little bit more. Need to move it in a little bit more, like that. Maybe move it over slightly still to there. Yeah, that covers it up pretty nicely. And then one over here as well. Just sort of like that. I think that looks okay. Now I'll just place a few more bushes along this ridge to hopefully hide the sharpness of it. Which I did originally, I mean, I did want to do that. Even last stream I planned to do that. But I wanted to do it when we get to building this branch specifically. But I suppose I might as well do it now. Might as well do it now. That could use one more there. Imagine if this root got so big that we actually made it into a desert area, and then we've got like, I don't know, like 100 miles of just crossing scrubland or desert. That would be something. One more there. Well, one more that's actually rotated a useful way. Namely, like this. Yeah, now the pointiness of it isn't as obvious. Although it's still a little bit up here. Hold on. Like that. This bit of the tracks is really gorgeous. Luftharz. Oh yes, it was part of the Eastern Western Railroad V2 all along. Ha 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 ha. That'd be something. Now I could also put the disused track along here, a little bit poking through. I can try that. Hold on, that it is a spline, but it's not a spline. It's like a track spline, not an object spline. Even though technically it is an object, but that gets too complicated. A lot of these features will also require names. Actually, hold on. I'll actually move these side to side a little bit, because if this has been here that long, then the ground would have shifted slightly, and then maybe through heat and cooling and ballast shifting away, it wouldn't be that straight. Which is actually a trick that I only figured out not that long ago. Even if it's still in use, you can do a little bit of side-to-side wiggling to make something look more disused or more or less well maintained, not just up and down. Who could have foreseen that you needed a 3-dimensional wiggle? Do I like that? Well, yes and no. I'm going to completely bury the bits that have the ballast showing through, I think. So like that. And then these bits as well. Having the ballast there just doesn't fit with this area, I think. Something like that. Yes, that's much better. You can kind of see it there. Actually, that is a little bit too pronounced. Hold on. Yeah, this bit needs to be lowered a little bit still. Like that, that's better. So you can kind of see it there. Then over from this side, not really, but you can see it a little bit. And of course over here, more of the ballast has remained. That's nice. Yes, and when it's still in use, it's even more fun because you get to watch the bogies go over it. Yes. Me too, that's for sure. Put a vague ballast texture underneath. There already is a little, there are a few hints of ballast, like here and there. But I really like the idea of this being much more overgrown. Okay, so now that we've done that, let's continue over here. Okay, yeah, I might as well. I might as well put a couple of... Fill these 3 baseboards in so I can have the slope be correct. And then I need to fill this area in with copy and paste. Copy and pasting the correct terrain height data. Hold on. There we go. There was a little gap there. Because sometimes if the camera shifts, there's a difference between where you clicked and where it's actually placing it. See? Which can sometimes be quite annoying. If it shifts. No, not the camera. If the position of the mouse pointer changes because of the new terrain height. Me not, I said. Oh, you not, I don't know what you mean. Replying to who could have foreseen it coming that we're gonna need a 3-dimensional wiggle. Ah, okay, that makes sense. Okay. Just need to quickly smoothen out that little... Nope, that's not what I wanted. Quickly smoothen out this little bit there because there was a little bit of an edge. And now I'll save and then get to work over here. Could almost mistake that for the ocean. Okay, now I need to smoothen this bit, bring this over, smoothen that edge. And I'm going to deal with this seam afterwards, because I want to do the more rougher, large-scale terrain manipulation first. And again, I do want it to be quite steep slope all the way up to about here. And done. Good. That went well. Oh wait. No, sorry. I miss saw. It's not actually done. Pity. I see what you mean. Now, I do have to bear in mind that when I actually put down the river in this bit, I can't have the river be too wide, because this is one of two rivers flowing into that lake, and at the moment the dam is not outputting water. So it's not, there's no water being put through the dam, which means it's all being piled up behind it, or stored up behind it. So if I put too much water flowing in here, then that would really be unrealistic, because then the water level behind the dam would rise at a very quick pace. So this can only be a small little stream, which means that I might even have to narrow it down over here a little bit. Although maybe not. Maybe if it's quite shallow, maybe this could work. Because, again, of the grid size. I see. I get the joke. Of course. Okay, and if I take sort of this height to be the tallest point of where the slope gets to, then I can paint this along over here, and it's probably going to go in this direction. But then I will have to add baseboards, which I will do, but later. Also, this is interesting. TRS-19 was released in 2020, but TRS-22 is gonna release in 2022. Yeah, well, I guess with TRS-18, well, 2018 and TRS-19, the higher year number is more important because it sounds newer. It's gonna be good for one more year. It's gonna be one more year more modern. But with 22, they couldn't really pass up on having the digits be the same, like those two digits be the same digit. So otherwise, TRS 21 just doesn't sound as good as 22 because, again, it's the same number. And so having it be 1 year older, the name, I guess they decided it's worth having those characters be the same thing, would be my guess. Because it's all about what kind of an impression it gives you when you read it. Whether that is because of how modern it appears or how well remembered how well you can remember it, or how easily it is recognizable as a label. So yeah, should have released it in 2021. Well, it wasn't finished then, though. That's the issue with that plan. Not sure that I like this being this tall over here. Although no, I do quite like that. Release it unfinished and then service pack it into completion. Well, they're gonna do that anyways. Well, half joking. Because if it's finished, then there's no point changing anything about it. So if there's ever an update for something, then before the update it wasn't finished, because finished, of course, means it is done, it is complete. No more needs to be changed about it. I guess you could say half joking. And I actually like the slope getting a bit lower down on the right, so that here there's not that much height to go, but back there is. That adds more variation and really magnifies the feeling of getting down into the valley, even though it's actually the valley that comes down to you as you're coming up here. Okay, so let's apply the terrain height to the tracks over here. I might as well do it here again as well, just because I might have accidentally moved, moved over it and changed the height. Okay, so let's do this. Thank you. Willis 1961, hello, welcome. Your comment is much appreciated. Alright, because of the 5 meter grid size, that makes sense. Okay, so how does this look? Let's go back to North Asia. Let's just fly along, see what it looks like. Let's escape the lag first though, hold on. Hold on to your buttons. Or keys, as you might want to call them. Okay, so you've got the sidings here. Going down to single track. Of course, this would look much better with a higher render distance, but for performance reasons, I can't do that at this time. Okay, then it's gonna go into the tunnel. Go through this bit. Comes out there. Yes. The camera is a little difficult to control if it's lagging. Then along here. Along this way, more sidings, good. And I will have to measure the distance from those sidings to, well, wherever I want to have the next sidings, if I want to have the next sidings before the industry, which I may not, but I might want to after all. Then it comes along here, we can see the bridge, lovely. Goes along here. I will have to do the frogs here as well, which I'll do after I've checked what this looks like. Okay, you can see the bridge, good. Like the mountain reflection in the lake. Oh yes, it is. And the mountain reflection looks so much nicer with a longer render distance as well. But, oh, hold on, 1 moment. Need to quickly do something. 1 moment. There we go. Nothing to worry about. It was just a spider that I had to capture. It will be released sometime within the next 24 hours. Hold on, let me put that there. 1 moment. There we go. Right, indeed, it's beautiful. I could have a cabin here and enjoy that view all day. Yeah, I very much look forward to making... I mean, hold on, I might be able to increase the render distance a little bit just for this view. If I increase it to maybe 6 kilometers? Yeah, if I increase it to 6 kilometers, just looking at that. Especially also looking the other way as well. It wandered into Twitch chat. Oh, you found... Oh, there's the spider. Yeah, there it is. Okay, you've got the little log loading area here. Although that is a good point. The logs will have to be navigated down to this area from the right river. There we go. Maybe even with an increased render distance a bit. Well, increased field of view, I mean. But anyway, I do need to actually carry on. I can't just look at this all day. I've got to look at what I've built to see if I like it. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to making sessions in this area. Okay, then we carry along here. The river down there. Then don't worry, we'll get another slope on the other side of the valley there. Kind of slopes its way up here. Around this thing. Over here. And it opens up there. Bridge looks complete now. Hem. Yes. Hem. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Yes, because in Trainz you use control to speed up the movement rate of the camera, but control up arrow also goes into that view where you can see the different windows. Yeah, and then as you get up here, we'll have the other industry. It looks good. Now I need to turn the render distance back down again a bit. Sure, 2 kilometers is fine for working over here. Well, it's CTRL for the Alt-Y and Alt-U cams. Yeah? Yes. Yes, that is correct. Yeah, I did add the abutments as well as the old ones over here and over here. And I did put more bushes on top of this ridge so that you can't see how, how sharp the edge is. The abutments make it look finished and complete. Yes, I agree. So, I like how this is going, so I will... I guess I'll add baseboards now, and then next I'll draw in the river, and then make the hillside fit that. Oh yes, alright, yes, wasn't sure before because of the quotation marks. Ah. Did you think it was meant in a Dr. Evil way? Perhaps. Okay, this shouldn't take too long. He said at the beginning of the MVR development process. Yeah, that would be fun. Either raise the train on the west side of the tracks or place a culvert or bridge under the tracks for drainage of the lower area into the river. On the west side? What do you mean? Oh, you mean on this little bit here? So where it's lower on that side? So that you mean on this little bit? Is that what you mean? There, yes. Yes, I will add a little culvert. I was going to do that later when I'm doing the scenery, but I might as well put a little pipe there now so I don't forget. And all filled in except for this bit. But other than that, what have the Romans ever done for us? Okay. Save and then add the pipe. Or station a maintenance of way crew there to fix the washed out tracks. Well, let's see if we can avoid that, because I do want this to be accessible. And don't worry, this bit down here won't stay there. That's just, actually I can move that. That's just so I remember to use this asset for loading the logs, but I might as well move it over to the other end of the line where it's actually going to be needed. Was kommt vor im Wasserrohr? Water pipe. Okay. I do have these objects, but I think I want a spline. Maybe the rust, maybe this one. Yes, like that. That's definitely how culvert pipes work. No. Raised up a little bit more, like that. Raise then that end up a little as well. Sort of like this. Move it in a little bit more because it doesn't have to be that far out. I did use this asset on Chain Lake as well, yes. Like that. Okay. So, actually I suppose since I'm already over here, might as well fix this little seam along here. Blend this in a bit more. Maybe put two of them side by side? Maybe. That might look good. I'll try it. That's a little bumpy. I need to increase the radius a bit. It's okay to have a little bit of a thing there like that. Okay, let's try that. I'll get the height and set it to the other one as well. Does that look better? Hold on, is that not? Ah, that's not lined up. Hold on, one moment. There we are. Is this lined up? I think this is. Yes-ish. One moment. Do you prefer this? Of course, I'll have to add a little bit more ballast because this is floating, but I'll do that afterwards. I mean, I'm happy with either, so if you prefer it like this, then sure, I can leave it like that. Now it's time to paint in the river. Not with this blue. I'll use... I'll use this brush to start. Well, actually, that's... At the moment, I've still got it set for the 10-meter grid because, of course, it's less lag to deal with when I'm making those large-scale terrain modifications, like the right side slope of the valley. Hello, Can Gaming, welcome. How are you? How's the route going? It is going very nicely. Look, we finished this entire branch. And now we're working on this branch up here. So this is how the route is. And it's going well, and it looks as pretty as ever, even with a slightly reduced render distance because of lag while I'm streaming. We did this little area here where we redirected the tracks to go over here because I changed the direction of the bridge. So instead of going north, the bridge is facing south. And we decided to put in the old, like an old track bed, because in both the history of the route and in the history of, in the universe, the bridge used to go across here, so we've got the old abutments here and old tracks. Gregory, is this going to be up for download when finished? It is going to be a DLC package. The route is going to be a DLC package, which will be available through the Trainz store, and probably also through Steam. But yeah, it is payware. However, all the assets that I'm using are on the DLS or built in, so you can run multiplayer on it, you can make sessions, that'll all work fine. So no third-party assets at all. So yes, and now we're working on making this valley. A new sassy crewmate? Could I have the list of assets? If you want a list of dependencies, I can... the trees. Sure, I can give you the names of them. Hold on. These are the STRMM trees. So, hold on. Are you on Discord? Because it would be easier for me to compile a list of KUIDs and then send them to you over Discord. Okay, then there's an invite to my server in the description on Twitch. And then if you join, then I'll send you the KUIDs after the stream. Okay, so that's good. And yeah, what I was doing before is I want to paint in the river first, so I have a point of where the valley needs to essentially finish at, going downwards. Like what the lowest point needs to be, but it's set to 10 meters, which means that I'm going to have to paint over the river, what I'm painting in now. So this is only temporary, but that's okay. So here I really want to hug this side, be quite close to the tracks, because I do want this bit to be quite narrow still. And I can, actually, should I make this a little bit more wavy? That's okay. It's really funny because it's very relatable. By the way, did you see the CFR Be Like video? I haven't seen it yet. I wanted to watch it when my roleplay session finished. My roleplay session finished a little bit after 8. And I haven't had time yet, really. But I will watch it. Okay, and here it's really quite narrow, and then it takes a big curve outwards, maybe kind of meandering back and forth a little bit like that. And then it comes out into the broad valley, where I can just make it meander as much as I want it to. Because I don't really have much of a meandering river yet. However, here, I do want there to be a bit of a crescent shape in it, so I should go all the way over here. then over like that, maybe a little bit of a curve like this. Although no, I don't like that, hold on. Let me redo that bit. Coming over like that, curving this way, then that way, and then back over this way. Then this goes over that way, oh, like this. And then I'm going to leave it here because well, actually I'm going to do a little bit more like to there. Because I don't know exactly how I want the valley to continue because the branch ends here and I do want a portal. So I'm going to have a curve. Or I'm going to, well, either a curve or I disguise the portal as a normal tunnel, which I could also do. Like, I could maybe have a river coming in like that as well, joining up like that, and then having a bridge over, and on the other side of the bridge, a tunnel, which will be the portal. That might look nice. Actually, that could be really nice. Can't comment on that. So, okay. And I don't necessarily want the slope to go all the way down to the river, because I do want there to be more of a flat basin carrying along this way, although maybe a little bit over here. Maybe a little bit over here. Like maybe just pull this over, because it is going to the narrower bit. Some older looking culverts. Ooh, let me have a look. Ah, yes. I do have some of those, I think. But in this area up here, I do prefer the rusty metal ones, because I think it just fits better. Well, dirty concrete more like. I do prefer this, it just fits a bit better here. There are some assets like that, the like CL assets from the... Hold on. Like, for example, we've got like this brick arch, but that's really meant... Well, yeah, I suppose I could have something like that, but it's quite short and I'd have to add multiples to it. We've got this, which... No, that's not... There are these ones... This one, which looks a little low resolution, but more similar to what you've posted. But these ones, which is quite large. And then, as for splines, let's have a look. Yeah, we do have... Look, I do have this, for example, which is the type of culvert that you were looking at, but it wouldn't fit from a height perspective as well. There are a few of these. Plus the textures wouldn't fit with a spline. I'm going to keep these ones. Okay, next. Spin around in circles. No. Next, this slope, which is... I'm going to have to be a little careful with this, because the other side of this ridge, will be seen from this line. That'll continue up that way. So... Oh, I see. Oh, wait, colon, see? What? Right. So, I have to bear that in mind. Unless this line just continues pretty much northeast completely, because then not much of it will be shared. Okay, well, let's just make this side of the ridge, and then I can decide what to do about it to do about the other side later when we get to that bit. So let's just pull that out a bit. Actually, should I do that? Okay, sure. No, I'll undo that because I want to get the angle of the slope right first, which is easier to do if I build it up with a height up tool. I was pretty sure it's called the height up tool, but that always sounds a little odd to me. I don't know why. Okay, and it's going to be quite narrow all the way up to here, and then it again opens up. Kind of draw a ridge line location like you did with the blue line for the tracks. Yeah, if I were to already add the baseboards on the side following this track, then I would do that. But since I'm doing this branch first, like completing this branch first and then doing the other one, this is just a bit easier. But that is a good suggestion. That is a thing that I have done in the past as well. Not on this route, but on other routes. Need a bit of water, one moment. There we are. Not that I expected us not to be here. Okay, at this point, I will grab the top and create a little bit of a smoother transition so that it's easier to work with. Which is a bit tricky, because I don't want to pull it down on the other side too much. Okay. It is nice working in the mountains again, isn't it? Right, so now it's a simple matter of smoothing this bit out as well. This will go quite quickly because I don't have to worry about messing up the other side. And then I can kind of see how the slope needs to go for it to have the angle that I want. I do want to pull this in a little closer here, just to kind of break the line of sight as you're coming along here, so you can't see too far along the valley, which means that I will have to pull in a bit more height from over here as well. Just sort of like that. Step 1. Infiltrate the back accessway of the building and take cover behind the crate props. Step 2. Take readings of the seismic stabilization calibration station and adjust lever positions accordingly. Step 3. Dial up the profits and request backup. Step 4. Spin around in circles. Wait, did you start writing that when I said when I said, okay, now let's spin around in circles, or whatever I said, did you start writing it all the way back then? Is there a way to draw in contour lines and then raise them to specific heights, like on a contour map? No. There might be a feature like that in TRS 2020, TRS 2022. But I don't know about that. It could be. I have no idea. They did mess around with the surveyor quite a lot, but in TRS 19, no. You can type in a specific height here. Like, for example, typing in, I don't know, 160. So 160 meters. And then with a smaller brush, you can... Oh, that's too low. Hold on. Maybe 260 meters. Yeah. No, that's still too low. One moment. Let's try 300 meters. Actually, let's try 340 meters. So yeah, if I type in 340 meters there, then with a set height tool, I can draw along like that, so that I've got this specific height. And then I can type in a different number, like maybe 320 meters, if we're going in 20-meter intervals. And then kind of draw this line in like that, along here-ish, and kind of draw in the contour lines, or maybe if I wanted to have it a bit different, I could draw it in like that. And then use the plateau tool to kind of fill in the area like this. But then what that can give you some nice results, but you are going to have to smooth out the jagged edges of these lines. And it's not going to be exact. So you can do that, but I've found that it just takes more time than doing it in other ways in Trainz. Affirmative. Step 5, I can't stop spinning. Oh no! Had a couple rewrites as well. Oh, that makes sense. Nope, unfortunately not. I must stop there before I turn that intro into the trollage. Good. A feature like that does exist in Train Fever, Transport Fever though. Yeah, in Train Fever, Transport Fever you do have contour lines you can see if you enable them. Technically, you've also got a similar thing in Roller Coaster Tycoon, but yeah. Okay, that's kind of what I was thinking. It would give a general flow to the terrain. Yeah, I suppose you're right. Alright, I saw that before, but I had no idea about the name. Thanks. Good. And I will smoothen out the bumpiness of this. Okay, and then I'm probably gonna need to add another couple of baseboards on this side. Let's work a little bit more on the valley on this bit, and then kind of transition between the two areas. And save. Don't forget to save. I actually do want this to kind of come around like this. I do have to, it does need to come in a little bit more at this point, because I do want line of sight to be blocked. I think that is more how my brain works when I think of building terrain. Probably comes from years of working with military and geographic maps. Yeah, and I mean, I use ordnance survey maps on a regular basis. Not for trains, but for just general when I'm trying to figure out where to walk or things like that. I do use ordnance survey maps and use those, but yeah. It would be a nice feature to have as well. Yes, I know this looks like I'm building an entire mountain with an ice scooper, but we don't have a bigger brush size, and this is going to work. It's just going to take a little while. I've got Trainz, but haven't used it yet. I like the way it can import terrain maps. Yes, and I have mixed feelings about that. On the one hand, it does sound like a really exciting tool to work with, like having these large scale, very realistic terrains that you've just got to build the railway into. In that regard, it would be a little bit more similar to, for example, maybe Transport Fever, where you've got the map and you build the railway into it, which does sound like a lot of fun. But on the other hand, it would also get rid of a part of the creative process, because I really enjoy modeling the train like this, even if it does take a while. So, plus I think Trainz is only available for Windows, and I use Mac, so the question doesn't really present itself to me, but... Shave? No, I like my beard. Yeah, and I am deliberately making this a little bit taller because... well, that's how I how I envisioned this area back here. And then I can use the... Actually, should it be a little... let's try setting the height to this height. And then... Actually, that's a little much. Oh, right, yes. It would be good if you are trying to make an accurate historical map of an area. Oh, yes, then it would be an amazing tool. But I don't really build real life routes. Although, well, I did try many years ago, but I might really like it. I might really like it this time if I did try it. But again, yeah. Again, that would get rid of a lot of the creative side of it. But then again, yeah, like I said, it has been a long time since I tried it. Also, is this kind of the... No, that is too steep. I don't want it to be that steep here. If that doesn't work, I have to cut that back. It's okay if it gets a little steeper on this side, like starting here. But I do have to cut that back a bit. It's too steep. Slope too steep. Marky has used it for his 1-to-1 scale contrail with map. Yes. And it works great on that. At some point I will have to do an updated exploration of that route. Preferably at day during clear conditions, because there are some areas of that I only explored while it was like thundering in the session and very foggy. That's why I got it. I want to eventually make a historic map from the 40s, 50s of the town and area around it where I grew up when it was at its Pennsylvania Railroad peak. Aww. That would be amazing. I hope you do end up doing that. And yes, here I will have to add more baseboards on the side, on the right there. The 1.3 of that got released recently. Yes. I might get in touch with Marky about that. Ask him what kind of... Well, first of all, update the route. Then ask him what session he recommends. But the thing is, if I do that, which I do want to do, it would be in the one of the two Trainz slots, maybe even two of them. And it finally feels like we're making some real progress on this map, some substantial progress. And I really want to keep that momentum going. But we might be able to do both. If it's not too long, we might be able to do an hour of exploring the route and then an hour of building. Well, laying the river. Error. Too much curvature. And I always wanted to do it in HO scale, but I would probably need a large empty barn and tens of thousands of dollars to build it. Yep. And yeah, Trainz is great for that sort of thing, because you've got as much space as you want, and the only real limitation is what amount of time you're willing to put into it. Although there is definitely something to be said for model railways and just the look of them, something that Trainz can't really replicate. Yes, you can make model railways in Trainz as well with those huge like real world assets. Hold on, I might as well... I've got a model railway installed. I'll quickly load it to show you, because I don't know if you've seen it or not, what you can do. One moment. I think I've still got it installed. Yes, there we go. Edit route. And this is a route from the download station. And there are quite a few of them. So if you look at this... Hold on, let me turn off the fog. One moment. Fog, none. So if you look at this, you can see that it is basically a model railway. You've got these big, the big door, these side panels, and I can imagine that driving trains on this, especially in multiplayer, could be quite a lot of fun, especially in DCC mode. And if you're interested in how they did this, well, it's just a normal route, but these assets are just huge. It's called Model Trainz Fascia. One thick. Oh, so you are familiar with them, but yeah. So you've got lots of them. Filskin. There's lots of them. Actually, this might be a route by that author. Oh, it is. It is by that author. It is one of their routes. But yes, lots of unfinished projects in here as well. Make May the month of Cornwall? No, I don't know. That sounds harshly accurate. They did originally make Trainz as a virtual model railroad simulator for people who couldn't afford a real-life one, but then they progressively made it more and more realistic. True. Walk around on the terrain and drop down onto the floor. Model Trainz Fascia. Yes, Fascia. I've watched most of his YouTube videos. Oh, I didn't realize. It looks like one of his. It is one of his. I didn't know he had a YouTube channel. Oh, I can't. Hold on. I'm not logged in. One moment. I'll quickly go to Twitch on here so I can open up that channel because I do want to have a look at it. Hold on, I'll quickly zoom out for performance reasons. Also, actually no, that's fine. That's fine. One moment. Come on. There we are. Oh, that does look good. Interesting. Very interesting. I'll put that off screen for, well, actually I'll minimize it for later. Thanks for that. It is fun to just sit and watch them to relax and enjoy. Yeah, it looks like it. But now back to root building. Okay, did I actually... Yeah, I did join this. So I still want to keep a lot of the height of this, I just need to move it out more. Which means I'm gonna need more baseboards, which, yeah, is what we already figured out before. Also, got a lot of ideas from his scenery. Ooh. Yeah, when the Beetlebrook Railroad, that's on the DLS, that I made in Trainz and Era quite a few years ago. I mean, this was like probably 2016, 2017, around there, that I made that route. Some of the scenery on that was definitely inspired by Approach Medium's scenery, and mostly his approach to things like parking lots or roads next to the tracks and things like that. Some bits, not all of it, of course, but some areas. Yeah. Okay, and then let's bring this over to... is that too high? No, that should be about right. Because here, like I said before, I do want to break up the line of sight a bit more. So I need to increase the train height over here. Don't want to bring it too close in though. Might as well do the slope coming down here next. Horace, for this Bear Creek Railroad also has good examples of 1950s US railroads, towns. Let's have a look. Oh, again, I can't. Hold on. Keep forgetting it's not logged in there. One moment. Gotta go back to Twitch and have a look at it here. One moment. This channel looks familiar. I think might have seen this before sometime. I don't know. I'll have a look at it after as well. I think it's still available on the DLS, although he has stopped working on it. Oh, apparently he has then. So you can go, this branch up here doesn't feel that long now, does it? If I zoom out, just going from here up to there. Is that shallow enough? I mean, in comparison, maybe? You go like that, then over here. This bit is still too steep. This needs to be cut back more. Is that really... The thing is, this isn't really cutting the line of sight how I wanted it to, because the tracks are just too far out anyway. It's just making the slope too steep in this bit. So I'm going to cut a little bit of this back as well. I feel like I'm molding clay. And no, I don't mean just letting it sit around in a damp, dark place for ages. That feels better. Because I do want this area to feel different from the other places. And the main valley going up into this mountain range, at the base of it, is already quite broad in some areas. Like if I go down here, yes, there are some, it is definitely steeper, but it feels quite open. And so going over here, I definitely want this to feel much more open. Which it does, which is good. Yeah, true, but when you laid out the base parts, it did. To me it didn't, because I already imagined what I wanted it to look like when finished. To me anyways, I downloaded it from the DLS a year or two ago, just to look at the terrain and scenery. I believe he did all the terrain freehand, like you are doing here. It is quite inspiring. I will have a look at it. I don't have too much large-scale root building experience. Maybe I would have otherwise been a more... Maybe I would have otherwise been a more accurate judge. Oh, right. Actually, molding clay. Ha ha ha. Do you think it is easier to build the terrain while it is still blank grid instead of when you have given the ground its base color? Yes. In most cases, yes. Because the grid helps you to see the... Because obviously, it's a 2D screen, so you can't really see the 3D shapes of it. But the straight lines allow you to see smaller changes in the smaller details in the terrain mesh of it, in how the height changes, smaller bumps and dents, which if you had grass and stuff over it, you wouldn't be able to see as well. And I have tried both methods. I have tried doing the terrain modeling after I put a grass texture over the top or before, and I prefer this. It just, yeah, it makes it easier to see the height details, like I've said. Would be interesting building a route with 3D anaglyph glasses if Trainz supported it. That would be interesting indeed. Old Minecraft versions used to have that. 1.12 did still. Yeah, 1.12 did still, if I recall correctly. Although I might have to double check that. Which is good because that is a version that has a lot of mod support. So yes. The grid lines give you a reference point while building. Yes, that is a good way of putting it. Yep, I know, they canned the feature soon after though. Yes, because apparently not enough people were using it, which is a shame, but not a big shame. It's like a small thing. It's not really anything to be ashamed of though, so it's not really a shame in that way. I agree, although most of the time I do end up filling in the texture very early on. Yeah, it does take a little bit of control to be able to spend ages modeling when I mean, it looks almost finished, and I really would love to see what it looks like with grass all over the place and the proper textures, but then saying, no, I'm gonna spend more time terrain modeling first. Does take some amount of control for me as well. Yes. Sure is, yeah, but I still don't get why they couldn't have just let the feature sit in the settings anyway. Because they changed the lighting engine, I think. The rendered engine. I think Minecraft Mojang did change the render engine at some point for it to be more performance friendly and loads of other improvements. And the 3D anaglyph thing is, I think, done via shaders, and they would have probably had to redo that for the new engine anyway, so I think that's what happened. Okay, so let's increase our own render distance a little bit more, and then let's have a look and see if, well, I'll see if I'm happy with what I've built. Not in the environmental settings. The normal settings. There we go. Not 8, 6. Maybe a mod could add it back in. Maybe, but the thing is, that feature really was not used by that many people. So, oh, there was a sound. Hold on. I have to wait until the stream to see it. One moment. It should appear in a moment. And there's quite a delay. I've not got OBS visible, so I can't see it on that. One moment. Any second. Ah, there we go. Stephen Lepetit 50? Stephen Lepetit 50. Nice, thank you. So, sorry that you caused a couple of minutes of basically boredom. Sorry if I got your name wrong. Yeah, it broke. I thought it was 50, but that's okay. Is the name in the users in chat view? Oh, there might be some bots there. And no, it isn't. Oh well. So, do I like this? We've basically reached the end of the stream. Let's just have a look at what we did. Coming over here. A bit narrower. Then turning the bend. And then just opening up like this, these vast distances. Well, vast-ish. The meandering river at the bottom. And then imagine having more base spots over on this side with it being built up even more. Which we will have to do because of the line going this way anyway. Then it's coming along this way. Okay, now let's have a look the other way. So you're up here, you've just finished loading a big log train. You're coming down that way. Yeah, and then imagine having actual scenery around this place. That's going to look amazing. Although actually I do kind of like it being that low over there. Maybe a little bit higher. Just a tiny little bit, but I do like that little bend down there. I might have the other line continue on like that and then go over so that we've got both sides of that perhaps. Who knows? And then it gets down over here where it gets a little narrower again. Well, I say a little, quite a bit narrower. Comes around this way and that way. And it goes this way, and you see the bridge. As you come over, you've got the beautiful lake. If you go along there, you've got the dam, and then so on. So I'm quite happy with that. Misremembrance, if you will. That's fine. Screech 180. Leave it low and add higher behind it. Perhaps. But my thought was that I might have the other line that goes off to the east, well, northeast. Maybe I'll have that curve around here, and just go on the other side of that low ridge here, and then have a turn east. That could be good. We'll see. Now I just need to get a thumbnail. I mean, I could get a thumbnail of the bridge, to be honest. Maybe that's what I'm gonna do. Hold on. One moment. Although I might have to increase the render distance even more. Dun dun dun. 10 kilometers. Hold on. Would like to have that area visible in the background there. Maybe something like that could work. Bridge frames in the lake. The bridge frames the lake gorgeously. Thank you. Maybe, although I do like the idea of it having the sky behind it. Ooh, maybe something like that. Although it's a little annoying that the shape of the hill behind the mountain behind it matches it so closely. Time of day, rain? No, I want to keep it like that. Yeah, that doesn't work on a small scale, unfortunately. But maybe I could do something from below. Maybe something like that. What does that look like? Actually, that looks quite nice, but it is recognizable as the bridge we've already built in it. It's not that new of a thing. So I'll take another screenshot over here where the valley kind of opens up a little bit more, probably. Although that doesn't look too interesting like this. Along the sides? Maybe. But then I don't want to... I have to be careful, because if I add too much detail on one bit of it, it will look too out of place if there isn't that much detail on the other bits of it. Bring us a shrubbery. Yeah, but then I'd have to maybe do it everywhere, and then it would lag too much, and it would take a lot of time to do as well. No, that doesn't look good. Although maybe that could look good, perhaps. Or that. Ah, that's probably going to be the thumbnail. Okay, so... a steep bit I meant. The knights who say ni. Yes. Bring us a shrubbery. That, yes, I get it now. It did sound familiar, I just couldn't quite place it. But of course. 'Tis but a flesh wound as well. Not exactly the same, but... you know. Oh, you've got coconuts. Where do you get them? We found them. Are you suggesting coconuts are migratory? No, of course not. Totally forgotten about that. Okay, so I've planted the trees of safety, which they're called that because sometimes Trainz likes to freeze in the saving process if you haven't done anything between that and the last save, or not much. So with that, thank you all very much for watching. This live stream will be archived on YouTube. And good night, pretty much. Bye-bye. And it's always nice having you in chat. You couldn't place it, but you could place speed trees. Sure. Good night. Bye-bye. Gonna wait for it to catch up. You all?